A question I've often found myself asking is, how does a color palette affect the viewer's opinion and connection with the character? How does a color evoke a positive feeling or another a negative? This is where color psychology comes in. Very basically, color psychology is a way to explain why certain colors make us feel certain ways. You know, the way blues tend to invoke more reflective emotions like sadness and mystery. Reds give off energy, power, and sometimes hostility. Purples remind us of royalty, regality, and power, and so on. Colors do a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to how a viewer perceives a character. Do they blend into their environment? Do they stick out like a sore thumb? What can the colors tell us about the character's personality before we even meet them? Let's look at two of my previous creation logs, Irena and Amera. What do their colors tell you? Starting with Irena, the first thing I noticed is how well she blends into her watery background. Her primarily blue and green body make her feel like one with the ocean. If I were to take away all the details about Irena, no tail, no fishnets, no fins, and left you with only her color palette, do you think you'd be able to guess that she's some sort of ocean dweller? Maybe not, but with the context of the background? Now it might be a bit easier. Now, let's look at her actual colors. They're very cool in tone, with almost no warmer colors. These cooler colors give off a feeling of calm, tranquility, and peace, emotions that mesh well with her water theme and overall vibe. Now, we can look at Amera. He also blends pretty well into his scene, but see how his colors are much brighter and warmer? He feels more energetic and happy, his oranges and greens making him appear happier. They are my ideal reference for color theory applied and at work. Two pieces that, for all intents and purposes, aren't, extremely different, but their colors give them lives of their own. Color, while universal, is also very subjective. Just because certain colors can mean certain things doesn't mean that your characters have to adhere to those set ideas. Take the character I've been drawing in the background, Medite. Her color palette is also very cool and subdued, much like Rena, and while that can be said of her personality, she also enjoys spending time with friends and playing jokes on others. In this case, the color I chose for her is meant to subvert what the viewer would expect of her, which ties into the story I want to make for her. I know I just said a lot of words at you to make me kind of seem smarter, but my knowledge of color begins and ends here. I might like color psychology, but color theory is a whole other thing I don't even want to think about right now. So, if you want to watch an amateur comic artist and writer try and make something of their hodgepodge ideas, consider following me. I'm not a nerd, I promise, I'm normal.